birthday. 17 was X was 17 and over X at the time, and I was like, yeah, I'm not even gonna make the main. I want to go make some money. went to the Gold Cup in Vegas and ended up getting second place. Went home with like $600. You know, I was happy.
Yeah, I had this conversation with John Salami, and I was like, I was 17 over X ABA, and I had a team member that was A Pro or A Pro ABA, would B Pro be NBL, and Corey, sorry, you're out. If you're watching, Corey, I did beat you quite often, but I was 17X, but I never really thought I had it together, because I always look back. I said, you know what, I could probably make the semis or the quarter semis at a national, but there's no way I'm making the main at 17X. So I just figured, why bother going pro? But I guess it maybe pros might not even be as fast as 17Xs at that point. I don't know. That was a big conversation that we had. Do you have an opinion on that of 17X versus B pros or A pros?
B Pro is only fast for the first 2 months of the year, and then they all moved up.
Okay. All right. There you go. Nice.
17X at that time could wax B Pro any day of the week.
Oh.
When I turned pro, Mayday, Carter, all those guys were still 17X. Darwin Griffin, Cecil Johns. I was like, dude, I'm not getting on the gate with all these dudes.
Dude, I forgot to put myself on.
Like I said,
hold on. I can't believe I forgot to do not disturb. Okay, so yeah, so you agree that 17X is just as fast, if not faster, than A pros or B pros? Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so when I was on SE, at first I started out on a PK Ripper and a quad angle. They were too short. So then I designed the PKRXL, and then I helped me and Mike and Bob Divot designed the Flowable Flyer, the 1989 90 version with the Pitbull brakes that were down low.
Yeah.
And then we designed the Assassin that year. And I was the only one riding for him at that time.
You were the only guy on Factory SE?
Yes.
Wow, dude. And you were the pro.
Todd Blazer was on at the beginning of the year when I got on. He rode 2 races for him and then left to go ride for Robinson, I believe it was.
Wow, dude. That's crazy, man. You're the only Factory. You're like the last man standing almost. That's. Did you get extra love because you were the only one on the team, or did they still give you a hard time?
Who's that?
Or just in general, being on a Factory team, I just wondered if you, since you're the only rider, did you get more money or more perks or more parts, or it didn't matter if you were the only
I got unlimited parts. They really didn't have money for entry fees, but like parts, uniforms. I mean, SE took really good care of me while I was riding for them. I mean, like I said, I helped, I went in with the PK Ripper. I was like, we need to make one an inch longer. That was the whole thing. Make me one an inch longer, and then put the brakes down here, because me and my friend Eric Tipton, one night in his garage, we were drinking, hanging out. It was like midnight, and I was, working on my bike, polishing it and everything. And I'm like, man, I wish I could make the brakes right here. And I look, and I'm like, next thing you know, Eric hands me a drill and goes, why can't you? And he drilled it right there, threaded through the frame, put everything, went finish it the next day. I took it down to SE. They made the PKRXL and the Flowable Flyer all right before the Grands that year. And I had quit for like 5-6 months, so I was able to reclassify. So I went to the Grands, 19 Expert, and 1721 Cruiser, and I ended up with the third and the fourth in the mains.
That's what was the top tube size on the XL? Did it go to like a 21 or something?
21 and a half.
21 and a half.
Was a PKR XL. The original PK was 20 and a half.
Okay. I knew that. I always thought that the PK Ripper had a short rear end on it, but I never considered having a short. I never had a problem with the front triangle, but I had.
Everything was used to stems this big, and as tracks progressed and you had to start speed jumping more, that's when bikes started getting longer.
Yeah.
I
forgot to mention my PK Rippers. I like four PK Rippers. I forgot to tell you. Okay. Yeah, dude. That's why I was like,
and the whole reason.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, dude.
The Assassin was basically a Darrell Young, a half-inch longer.
What was that? A casting? Is that what you said?
No, the Assassin. SC Assassin.
Okay.
Was a Darrell Young, but a half-inch longer.
Really? Man, maybe yeah. Well, what was the head tube angle like? Was it like the Darrell Young, or was it more relaxed?
Nope, it was steep. It was an ABA bike.
That's
what it was set up for sharp turns, and you could dive bomb anybody on a nickel. Done.
I loved it. Yeah, I think I would have liked that bike, dude. That's my thing with. I always thought. I mean, JMC. I'm not bad mouthing JMC, but their stuff before the Darrell Young was like, I don't know, way too small for me, or in our group, they had a bad reputation for cracking. I know that people are out there that love JMC that they didn't crack. Well, as a kid, as a 15, 16-year-old kid, once you hear that they crack, you don't want to get a JMC. But for my opinion of a JMC, totally changed, dude. When I got on my Darrell Young, my racing went from 7 to 9, dude. Like the next day, I was like, this is crazy handling. I love that bike, and I never cracked one JMC there. And I had probably 4 of them. But yeah. So if that Assassin was 1 inch longer, it probably would have been better.
My Darrell Young, believe it or not, my dad put that together for me at the beginning of the year. At the Spring Nationals that year at Stockton was the first time I had doubled both days at a national. And I'm still trying to find the picture from my trophy dash. It was me, Aaron Salee, Jeff Schofield, and Danny Nelson, all 4 of us coming out of the last turn, just on a head-down sprint to the finish line. And I barely got him, and I ended up losing that trophy dash plaque out with one of my storages back when I was a kid. And it was the only one that I wish I still
had. Is that the race that stands out? Do you have one race or a series of races? I mean, I only raced 1 national in the United States. I raced 1 national in Mexico. But I wish I raced more. From all the nationals you went to and all the teams, is there one national or one series of races that really stands out where you think, you know what, this tells the Joseph Tippett story, man? Do you want to go down in the annals of history?
Probably just the 3 years in a row at Stockton that I doubled. It was like once I did it that year, it was the weekend before my birthday, and everybody knew it, but I still had a hard class because, like I said, back then there was trophy dashes. And I had to race Danny Nelson, Jeff Schofield, 2 of the best that ever rode a bike. And then Aaron Salee, who, if he would have stuck with it, in my opinion, probably would have ended up a top pro.